What up? Guess who's back? Thanks for joining Let It Fly Disc Golf. Stay tuned. We're going to talk about distance and some things that I've been incorporating in my throws that allow me to get more. Stay tuned.
Let it fly into the sky, let it glow into the night, let it take flight, just slip away, it'll let you find.
All right, so I do appreciate everyone who has been sticking around. I know a lot of y'all have been asking, hey, where you at, where you been, that kind of stuff. I took about 2 months off. I wanted to come on and talk to you about how I am seeing some really crazy improvements even though I took 2 months off. Lost a little bit of weight, gained a little bit of muscle, but we'll talk about what I'm seeing in my throw that I feel like I'm not changing anything, and yet I'm seeing some crazy improvements. Okay, so one of the things that I noticed a little while back whenever I was actually like playing a lot, and I'm talking about like I was playing like maybe 5 times a week, okay? Now it's gotten down to like maybe 1 or 2. I'm starting to pick it back up again, which is really, really great because this is something that I love, and I love sharing the things that I'm learning with y'all. So hopefully this will actually get you to where you want to. Now, a lot of people have been talking about, and some people have been making jokes like, hey, where's your video where it's like how to throw 600 feet, right? And I think the thing is that we're starting to get away from like 500, 400, that kind of stuff, because for me, I don't think I'll ever get to 500, 600, right? Doesn't mean that the techniques that I'm sharing with y'all won't help those people get to their distance, right? But I think in this case, there's a lot of other things that come into our factors. What is the distance that you want to be able to reach realistically, right? Put in the comments, let me know what distance are you really trying to reach. Like, be as honest to yourself. This is where I'm at. This is where I would like to be, right? So if you're putting in the comments like I'm at 275, but I would like to be at 450, right? Let's be realistic, right? For me, I will say that before I started making the videos, 270, 280, 290 was my max, right? Now I'm reaching that 370. I've thrown over 400 a couple times, right? But like I'm talking about consistently, 380, 370. That's the distance that I'm at right now consistently. And I'm talking about like through gaps and that kind of stuff, right? So I'm happy with that, right? Plenty enough distance to get to a lot of your local holes at a lot of your local courses, right? Now, the thing is that let's say that you can throw 300 and then every once in a while you get to 375, right? That's not where you want to be. You want to be to that like 350, and you can choose what kind of disc you're going to throw so that this way you can get to the basket or to the landing spot that you're looking for consistently. So in this case, this video is really just kind of like a couple things to kind of consider when you're actually out there throwing. Be realistic, kind of gauge where you're at, and then see where you can actually get to from there. Okay, so the first thing that I noticed a while back was my shoulder, okay? A lot of people talk about protracting your elbow, protracting your scapula, all this other stuff, right? And it does help. It does help because what ends up happening is when I go to throw, if you look at, I believe it's Connor off of Foundation Disc Golf, he starts his throw like this, and then he's walking up, and then he goes to throw, right? I like that a lot because it puts it into the location where you want it to be, right? And then you can come back through it. Now, what I noticed that I was doing, and it's small little subtle things, right? Look at yourself in the mirror, do this slow, and really try to feel what your throw actually feels like. So what I would do is I had this really bad issue of collapsing my elbow, right? And it may not be as extreme as it was way back in the day. It was still like a little issue, okay? And so what I would do is I would start good, right? Good height elbow. I would go to my last stride, and what I would end up doing is instead of staying up here, right, I would drop my shoulder and my elbow, right? And they talk about this like in other disc golf videos of, you know, you're going up and then down, you know, and all this other stuff. I didn't like that because it's just too much complications where you think you're doing it, but yet you're not doing it. I'd rather be doing something that I know that I'm doing and that it actually is showing me results. So what I started doing was I saw that like it was almost like a little swim motion where I'd go here and then come back up, or I would go here and then stay down, right, with my shoulder which drops my elbow, and then I'm throwing down here, right? Even if I'm trying to throw like a flat shot, right? That's more like a hyzer, okay? So, and this is something that's kind of hard because you have to kind of feel it. So put this up here, and when you go to coil, okay, look and see where this is at. Are you dropping it, right? Or is it staying up here? My mind concept is when I get here, all I'm gonna do is stay as high as I possibly can with this, and then come back through it, okay? So it should look something like this. I'll see if I can replicate it where I'm up here, but then when I get down here, my shoulder drops, and then I end up throwing like this. I don't know if I can do it. I've been kind of perfecting the other way, so I'll try. Decent result, but the problem is that I don't have the angle control that I'm looking for. And then I would have to, like, if I'm thinking that I'm gonna release here, but yet I release here, that's gonna be like a hyzer, or I'm gonna have to like really turn my hand over to just get to help get the nose down, and that's gonna cause too many issues and complications. I do want to thank everyone for subscribing, watching my content, even though I've been gone for a little bit, but like I said, I'm back, and hopefully we'll get these videos going again. So make sure you subscribe, make sure you stay tuned, hit that notification bell, so you'll see the videos that come out when we put them out. But don't think I forgot that we are doing the 2,000 subscriber giveaway. I think we're at like 1910, which is awesome, okay? Channel started out about a year ago. We're growing, right? We're growing, and I think once people start taking it serious, that I'm not here trying to, like, you know, push bullcrap over you, right? This is actual stuff that I'm doing in my game, and is definitely helping, okay? But I will link to the video here. I talk about what discs we're gonna include in the giveaway, and then we're also gonna throw in this Wraith. Man, I love Wraiths. It's a Halo Wraith. It is 172 grams, I believe so. Yep, 172 grams, and it's pretty dope. We will be giving away a shirt and a hat. FYI, if you ever want to order a shirt like this one, I'll put our other shirts up here. You can also order those too. If you don't want to use the link in there, then just find me on Instagram. Find my social medias down below, and then just send me a message and say, hey, I'd like to order a shirt, and I'll send some ways that you can pay, and we'll get those sent out to you. Other than that, thanks for watching. Make sure that you subscribe, and let's keep it going. Okay, so that's one thing. Looking at where your shoulder drops, okay? If you just have this issue where you can't really control your angles, look at that, okay? Once you get that going to where it feels like it's very consistent, it's up, I go here, okay? If I need it to be lower, then yeah, it's okay to drop the actual disc and then come up if you need to, if you're trying to go higher over something, okay? But I'm not trying to drop my shoulder, okay? I'm trying to keep it up, okay? Because that helps with this part as well. I mean, it's hard to like keep this low and then this up, right? So here, I'm not forcing anything. You know, this is kind of locked, okay? They talk about, like, some people talk about, like, they don't like how they come here and this is not like loose enough, because then you end up collapsing. But if there is some tension here, it's hard to get the disc behind you, okay? The next thing is kind of like a Paul Macbeth thing, okay? So even when you think you're loose, you're probably not loose enough. And this is definitely something that you're just gonna have to really, really trust, okay? And what I mean by that is, okay, how can I grip this, right? They talk about backloading. There's still a lot of that I need to kind of like dive into, but I've been kind of getting away from it, just making sure that my grip is comfortable, okay? I'm not clamping down on the disc, okay, because I don't want to like cause this to go nose up. The other thing is a couple of the guys on YouTube, I think Nick Crush talks about being backloaded because it allows the nose to be down further, Whereas if you are putting a lot of pressure on your front fingers, it allows the disc to come up, okay? It makes it a little harder to kind of pour the tea. There's a bunch of stuff. We're not going to get into that. There's a couple other videos here and there, whatever, okay? But what I've started noticing is how loose can I get? And I'll tell you, the looser I get, the further I can throw. And what I mean by this, as far as learning this, is go out to a field, feel like you're like, I'm just like so loose, you know what I mean? Like, what is that gonna do? How's that actually gonna like portray? Now, the thing is that when you're loose, you still have to hold on to the disc. It still has to snap out of your hand, okay? So there's a balance of here and there, right? If you feel like you're like loose and then you're just super firm or super stiff up here, you need to figure out how can I still be loose and still hold on to the disc. What I like to do on my grip is I like to bring my fingers really close together. So I'll put the disc in my hand and then I'll just try to squish my fingers together and then just be a little comfortable, okay? And that kind of like locks it in there. I'm not gripping down on it, and that seems to help me. But here's the move. And you see a lot of guys do this. Paul Macbeth is a big one. Adam Hammis does the same thing, okay? You look at it as like a timing issue, but I don't think it's a timing issue. It's really to just kind of remind them, hey, stay loose, okay? You can't throw with a firm upper body, okay? You have to stay loose. So I've been incorporating that. I don't incorporate Paul Macbeth's pump, okay? But I definitely have been standing on the tee and doing this as I go, okay? So I'm trying to get that like, all right, here we go, boom. Then I put into the pocket, reach back, and come through, okay? Really does help. It has been helping with my distance. Let me give you an example. I have a problem throwing too far on this hole now. I'm gonna have to start choosing fairways and that kind of stuff. But as you can see, proof is in the pudding. Finally, the last thing. This is the gold of the gold. This is something that you probably don't want to hear, but I really do believe that this has had a major impact in my distance, okay? I don't feel like I'm doing anything different, okay? I'll tell you that much. Everything that I think I was doing about 2 months ago, okay? Up to this point of not playing at all, right? Maybe every once in a while I go out into a field. I'm talking about like very, very rare, and just throwing out in the field, not throwing to an actual location or a position or anything like that. I'm just throwing, okay? But one thing that I have really, really, really noticed is one, staying loose helps me with my nose angle. But here we go. Working out. Can't stress that enough, okay? You're probably like, whatever, you know, I'm a construction worker. I work, you know, all day long. You need to do more, okay? Especially with the upper body, okay? The reason for this is because we know that in disc golf, it's not all about your muscles, right? We see like Paige Pierce. We see Adam Hammis is pretty well built, right? Paul Macbeth, you see him work out. You see him run, do the cardio stuff. I mean, when he's off in his off season, Brody Smith, who lost a lot of weight and is looking lean, right? There's a reason behind that. It's not so much of them being out in the field for like 4 hours. It's really for them being out in the field and feeling like they're not exhausted at the end of the round, okay? So what I mean by that is I got a bench press at the house, do some heavy lifting weights, right? I'm not looking anything to tone. I'm looking to build muscle, okay? I've been running about 2 miles a day throughout the week, maybe like 3 or 4 times, okay? And that has really helped out with my physique, right? I mean, not too bad. I mean, I think in the previous videos, I was probably pushing like 211, 220. I think right now I'm down to like 195. I did get down to 188, which was really awesome because I could really tell a difference in my stamina and that kind of stuff, which was awesome as well. But lifting weights, I cannot stress that enough. If you are a person who is struggling to get past 300 feet, do this for about 2 months, lift weights. It doesn't have to be extreme, but if you really want to see your game improve and you really want, if you're really like, I mean, I'm not trying to be on the pro tour, right? I just want to be able to go out and play with my friends and be able to beat somebody, right? The other day at Will here, I took down DuPont and Salvador, which are like elite guys here in Abilene. And that was the first time that I actually playing a casual round, right? But we take it serious for the most part. But I took it down, right? That's a good feeling to have. And I remember walking over to my brother and saying, hey, I'm not really doing anything different, but I really think that all the working out that I've been doing over the last 2 months, that's what's actually improving my game. Being able to throw further. Now I'm having problems where I'm throwing too far, and so now I need to start working on my game again, as far as maybe I got to go back to mid-range or go back to a fairway or throw this type of disc or, you know, whatever. So in this case, that is really, really my third biggest point right there, okay? Do it for a month, do it for 2 months. And if that doesn't prove that you're not doing something to improve your game, then maybe we need to look at other parts of your game. But for me, it has really made a difference in my distance, okay? So that's pretty much it. All right, so that's gonna be it for this video. Hey, I appreciate you watching. Make sure you subscribe, make sure you keep coming back for more. Let me know in the comments what you missed about me since I've been gone for a little bit. If this is your first time here, make sure you go check out the videos that I have done in the past. They're really good content. My forehand is looking a lot stronger, okay? So we'll probably do some videos on that. We'll definitely get the guys back on the channel, do some fun rounds. It's disc golf, baby. All right, thanks for joining. Keep up the good work, get on the field, and let it fly. Peace.
Let it fly.